we're waiting for one other of our guys. He's having some sort of audio difficulty, but he's hopping on right now. Where are you guys during this whole quarantine? Where are you guys at right now?
We're at Maria's house here in Orlando. So she's been with me for like 2 months, 3 months by now.
Yeah.
I think she just wants to get rid of me by now.
I was gonna say, so you guys aren't roommates? You're just crashing together?
We're soon to be roommates after
moving
this.
together.
Okay.
Moving
Trial
in
run.
Yeah.
That's
in
awesome.
a couple of weeks. So
the good-
that was exciting.
The good thing is there's a lot of great golf in Orlando, and it sounds like all those courses are back opened up and stuff, right?
Yeah. We've been able to play and stuff, so that's definitely.
I was gonna say that's a good like 4 or 5 hours to kill every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get out
Yeah,
at night and do something.
Honestly, golf's been the only thing that like just kind of keep me sane because everything else is closed. It's the one thing you can at least do and get out there and play.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for real.
definitely.
I don't know what I would have done. Like, I have some friends like in Europe or South America that like they could not leave their houses. Like, they're
Yeah.
on lockdown.
So here's Jack. He's our third guy. So we got everyone on.
Hey.
How's it going, Maria's? How's it going?
Okay.
It's our first dual podcast, so we'll see
Yeah.
Yeah,
how.
we made it easy for
we
you
have to
guys. You
change
just
it
have
up.
to remember one name.
Yeah,
I know, right?
We're excited.
Right.
We've never actually interviewed two people at the same time, so we're excited for the joint interview. I think we're.
I just started recording Audacity.
Okay, so yeah, I think we're all good from an audio standpoint. So I'll go ahead and get us started. All right, folks, and now joining us, this is the first dual interview on the Amateur Hour podcast. We got two Marias, Maria Fassi and Maria Balcazar. We're really excited to have both ladies on. These are two of the rising stars in women's golf. Both have had very illustrious careers to this point. And ladies, how you doing? Thanks for coming on.
Good. We were very excited to be joining you guys to talk some golf, talk some life, and actually just do something different in this quarantine. It's very exciting to be with y'all.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having us.
So yeah, the first thing we'll get into is, obviously this quarantine has shut a lot of stuff down, but you guys both being in Florida right now, courses have stayed open for the most part. So talk about what it's been like to at least get out and get to play some golf and stay active.
Yeah, definitely. It's been pretty nice. I think at the beginning of quarantine, we were like all shocked and depressed that we couldn't do anything. But our course stayed open, so we were put up a routine. We would wake up really early and go practice and grind for a little bit. And then it's just been really fun for us to have 3 golfers here that we just go and play every day.
What's your guys' course? What club is it?
Champions Gates.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you guys have a threesome set up every day, or who's the third that goes out with you guys?
Yeah, so it's a friend of mine. She played golf at Arkansas. Her name's Olivia Levy.
Okay.
And she actually came down for the weekend for like my birthday before everything happened. She lives in New York, and well, she's like, I'm not going back to New York with the whole quarantine, like
Really? Okay.
stuff. So she ended up staying here, and she's been here for 2 months.
Yeah,
That's
a funny connection because a guy that I grew up with and a big following of our show, Mike Dolan, his girlfriend Lexi knows Olivia well. So that's a small world.
Lexi was with us for like Lexi and Olivia both came down for like the weekend before my birthday, and then Lexi ended up just going down to Atlanta, and Olivia's been here for a couple of months now.
Okay, so we had Hallie on last week. Do you guys know her well, Hallie Ledbetter?
I don't personally know her, but Maria's pretty good friends with her.
Yeah, I know her fairly well, and I work with David, her dad, so like I guess I know that family fairly well.
How was the birthday celebration during the quarantine?
Was that right before?
Yeah, we managed to make it work. We threw her like a little surprise party.
Okay.
And, it was the 3 of us and 2 guys that live. They're our neighbors, so it was fun.
Yeah.
So
stuff.
Before we get in, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah, it was not. I mean, we just had a nice dinner, and I don't know. It was fun, I guess. With what we could do, I think we did the best we could, for sure.
Yeah, one to remember. I was gonna say, before we get into golf here, like, so this is obviously our first podcast with two people at once. Can you guys describe your relationship, how you know each other, how long you've been friends, etc., for the viewers at home, just to
Yeah, let's get the backstory.
Well, golf was what brought us together. We both grew up playing golf together. I think we've known each other since we were 8.
Yeah.
We're 22 now, so it's been a long minute.
yeah.
And I don't know, we've
It was a funny story. I'm gonna embarrass
okay.
you here.
Yes, by all means, go ahead.
I tweeted. I was like probably 12 at that time, and I already had a Twitter bad choice.
embarrassing.
And I tweeted like, "Oh, I want like a friendship like SpongeBob and Patrick." And she just responded, "Can I be your Patrick?" And since then, we're just best friends.
Wow.
The rest is history after that.
That's
Ever
awesome.
since she was a Patrick.
Is that tweet still live, or did you go back and delete it since?
Hopefully it's
I don't
gone.
know. I
We
tried
need
to
that
look
to
for
be
it, and
gone.
I think it's gone. I'm glad.
Yeah.
We gotta
may
have
need to
our producer.
Bear
Yeah,
might
we
need to
gotta-
go to the archives and find that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
No,
sure
no.
if we look hard enough, I think we
We'll
could
probably
find it.
find it,
But
yeah.
let's not do that.
So yeah, one thing that we kind of heard from Lexi is talk about Lorena Ochoa. I don't know if my pronunciation is right on that, but talk about what she has meant to you guys, obviously growing up in golf, and how she's kind of been a mentor in that regard.
Yeah, no. I think as a little kid, we both look up Lorena. We had the lucky to meet her and just be around her. Maria met her more than me, but she's just been a great inspiration, and what she has done with women's golf in Mexico has just impacted us a lot. So we're really grateful to have her as a role model and more like a friend. She's like a really good friend, and we're in part of her what do you call her, institution?
Yeah, it's like a foundation
It's-
that she kind of created for professional golfers in Mexico, for female professional golfers, and I don't know, she just gives us a lot of tips and shares stories about how her career went about, and just guides us, I guess, in the right direction. And I mean, of course, the journey is going to be different for everybody, but just hearing from somebody as successful as her, it's pretty cool, as like a pretty new professional golfers that we are.
Right.
Yeah, that's really cool. You know, to have an influence like that, positive one, that's pretty special. Obviously, not all golfers have it. So, but I'm interested. You guys grow up battling one another? Were you competitive, or how did that start? Your golf competition?
Yeah, we play a lot when we were kids. Maria can tell the story that she thinks she was not that good when she was a kid.
I wasn't.
You were good. You just did like a little push. But yeah, I think it went like opposite for us. I was really good growing up, and then like I hit a point where I was not that good, and for some reason I ended up seeing Maria in a tournament, and I bowled my ass out, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm playing terrible. I want to quit golf, this and that. And she introduced me to her coach. So I come back and practice with her and her coach, and that year I think was the best for both of us.
Yeah.
It was like
It was so much
we
fun.
were always 1-2, like always
What year was this?
tournaments. It was really cool.
What year was it? Like, how old were you guys?
It was your year before going to college.
Yeah,
Okay.
like 5 years ago. Yeah,
Cool.
2014, 2015, somewhere around there.
So you guys really have had each other's backs from day one. That's
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
been cool. I mean, I was bad growing up. Like, I don't think I got good until I was like 12.
So, what are you considering bad?
Like, I couldn't break 95. Like, I was bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bad. Like,
So it's
I mean, not bad. Like, I was
hmm
a kid. It's not like it was the end of the world for me.
Yeah.
But compared to what they were shooting, like, I was definitely not fighting for the first places. But then, I don't know, as time went by, like, I don't know,
She got good.
golf
You can see.
happened, and
hard work, yeah. Clicks,
yeah, and then it was a lot of fun to play like the last round of every tournament with her, and like
Mhm.
just see who was gonna get the first place that week.
Was there ever a
Yeah.
story where you guys, may have gotten into it or butted heads on the course? Or has it been pretty, calm and
in the
casual
amateur events,
throughout?
don't you decide like some like lies and if a putt's good? Was that how you guys would play? If you played together, would you give each other?
Like, I don't think we would never have like that thing of like I was mad that she won or stuff,
Yeah.
but people around us were saying things and trying to get us to fight.
Yeah.
And my response was always gonna be like, oh, she's my best friend outside of the golf course, so I don't care. Like she can be mad, whatever. Like I'm not gonna do anything. And it was not even true. So it was like more people around us trying to like break the relationship because we were always 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think we were very good at just kind of leaving the golf course behind. And I mean, if she played good, I was happy for her. If I played good, she was happy for me. And definitely when we were out on the course, like I wanted to beat her as hard as she wanted to beat me. Like there was no like friendship like that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna let her win or anything. Like we're both super competitive, but I think that's just, we both understand that, I don't know, that's just on the course. And then outside we would go have ice creams back then, and now we'll go have a beer after the round, you know?
Yeah, there we go. Love to hear that.
So I was going to say, when it came time for college decisions, did you guys talk to each other about maybe going to the same place, or did you just do it all on your own? And obviously you ended up at Arkansas and UCF, so I was kind of curious how that came about.
I don't think we never had like a place to go together because honestly, if we're together, it's gonna be a lot of distractions.
Like we needed that.
Since the beginning, I think we both knew we were gonna go to different places just because we wanted to do our best and grew up like alone in our own process.
Sure.
But I was really happy she went a semester before, and I was like all into calling her and telling me what was experience, and she was like really nice, telling me all of the tips before going. So I think like that was super cool.
Yeah.
I think we needed to kind of, I don't know, grow and mature a little bit before us being, I don't know, away for college. Like right now, like I'm super hyped about living with her, and like I think we're good now. We wouldn't be bad influences on each other.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But I think I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, I don't think that would have been
like most kids. I mean, everyone goes through that, I think. But.
So I want to ask about living together now. We've heard that you guys are known for some sort of transfusion drink or something like that.
Oh, I've had one of those before.
What's the backstory there, and who's the better chef overall of the two?
I'm the chef, she's the bartender.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
it's a good combo.
We started the transfusion thing when they re-aired the last round of the Augusta National Women's Amateur. And we were like, hey, like let's watch it. And then we were like, okay, well we have to have like a master's like experience. So like we made like pimento cheese and egg salad sandwiches.
Wow.
And then we're like, well, it's not a full experience if we don't have like Augusta transfusion. So we did some of that, and we did have our fun with.
Honestly, I got bamboozled because I didn't know anything of this. Like I have never been to the Masters. Like I have just watched it, and they were like just giving me this food and these drinks, and I was like, okay, this is live. And then we end up getting in bed really quickly.
I'm a big fan of those though. It's just
that's amazing. Yeah.
What goes in the transfusion? I'm not aware of those, to be honest.
I'm an amateur that you don't know that. Wow.
Yeah. Well, you're the bartender, but I think it's just grape juice, ginger ale, and vodka. And like some lime juice if you want.
I'm playing golf later today, so I may bring one on the course.
Yeah, you should get one of those. It's pretty good. It's a good drink. Fresh.
I will say you got to kind of pace yourselves a little bit with those because they can add up quickly.
Oh, they'll get you.
Oh, I learned my lesson. Believe me.
Yeah.
I'm
sure you guys.
How many holes did you make it through the 18? Did you finish the round or no?
Really quickly. I'm just gonna stop.
Did you guys make it through the final broadcast, like all 18, or were you?
No, we finished. Yeah.
I have some videos of a couple of the people in the house that fell asleep during the match, or during the round, I guess. But we did finish the whole broadcast.
Wait, so was this for the amateur event?
Yeah.
The one
But speaking of that event, Maria, didn't you had quite the performance there, if I'm not mistaken? Can you
That was a
comment on
heck of a tournament.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I mean, honestly, it was my first time to be at Augusta. I haven't been to the Masters, but I mean, I of course played at Augusta, but it was like the first time that I was there, and for me, like that was just the coolest thing. Like just
Mhm.
being there and being able to play a golf tournament there and being with like I don't know, like the best in the world, and then playing on Saturday that final round. Like we had, I think like 35,000 people were on the grounds that day, and it was just like super special. And then I was fortunate enough to play decent golf and be up there and be fighting. And I mean, I fell short, of course, but I think it was definitely one of the most fun rounds that I've had in my life.
Was there a lot of emotion going into that, or was there a point in time where you had to like pinch yourself and say, "Wow, I'm at Augusta right now," or were you ready to roll right away?
The practice round, we played a practice round on Friday and then the final round on Saturday. And the practice round on Friday, I think I was more nervous than during the tournament. Like, I couldn't believe that I was playing. Like, I was just like picturing all these iconic shots that like players had done at previous Masters tournaments. And like, I was just like starstruck by being there and by being able to play. And like the week before the Masters, like the course was in amazing shape and like everything was like way too much for me to handle. But then actually like during the tournament, I on the first tee I was super nervous. I was worried about my ball staying on the tee. Yeah, it was like I was worried about like hitting somebody. I don't know, like it was the first tee was hard, but then after I hit my first shot, like I was fine. Like I really just enjoyed the round, and I don't think I really ever like realized how big of a deal that was until like I watched it again, and saw like how many people were there. And like I don't know, like I don't really remember much of the round. I think I was like zoned out and just like, I mean, I was enjoying it a lot, but I don't remember really a lot of it.
Yeah, that was like the dream scenario for the obviously the sponsors of the round or of the match and everything for that tournament, because you and Jennifer were just like battling great golf all 3-4 days, and that was really impressive. But so now you guys have both turned pro, and what's the main difference between life in college playing team golf but also individual golf? Now you're on tours, playing for yourself, but obviously you have your family and your caddy and all that. So how's that transition been?
Yeah, I just graduated from college, so I've been trying to learn this past months that I'm here with Maria, like everything that I can, like all the tricks and tips. With the new schedule of Symetra and LPGA, of course, we're gonna have to play a lot of golf. So one of my questions to her was like, how do you handle like how many tournaments work for you, and then you take a break and all of that. So it's been great having her because she has already experience. So I don't feel like uncomfortable asking all those questions to her. So it's really cool to be part of all of this. And of course, it's a transition from college to pro, because in college you have 6-7 girls always with you practicing and all of that. And this is really a lonely sport. Like being a pro golfer, like I feel like you travel alone, you practice alone, like it's not much to do. But having her, it's gonna be super fun to practice together and all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the biggest things. And I think like when we move in together, like that's going to be so much more fun, because it's one thing to, I don't know, wake up early and go work out with 8 other girls or 7 other girls than to wake up at 6:30 to do it on your own. Like I think nobody really has the willpower to do that. So I think it's cool to have somebody and like both be kind of working towards the same direction, and we have the same goals and dreams. So like we can kind of like hold each other accountable, but also like kind of push each other to be better and to work hard. And I mean, if I need her, I know she'll be there for me, and if she needs me, I'll be here for her. So I think that's pretty cool to have as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys will have no shortage of ways to motivate each other and keep it competitive and creative and whatnot. But one thing I want to ask is there any word yet? Obviously, the PGA Tour has kind of made an announcement of when they're tentatively scheduled. Is there any word with the LPGA and Symetra of when they're hoping to get you know, obviously probably without fans to start, but when they're hoping to get some tournaments back on the schedule?
Yeah, I think the last we've heard is for us to start by the end of July.
Okay.
But I think for women's golf in general, it's just harder with sponsors, and like we need like the pro-ams, and we need spectators for sponsors to like, for them to be like the tournaments to be feasible for them. So like it's a little bit harder, I think, for the women's side, like just because we don't have, of course, the money that the PGA Tour has, so we don't like with TV coverage and stuff, like it's not nearly like I don't think you can even compare the two. So it's a lot harder for us to like get the revenue for sponsors to be like, okay, yeah, this is worth it. So I think it's a little bit harder for us. Hopefully it's by the end of July. Like I think sponsors have been great, both on the LPGA and Symetra, like holding their schedule and trying to play the tournaments. Yeah, even though of course it's gonna be without spectators for now. But I don't know. I keep telling everybody when they ask me, like I'm gonna believe that we're playing when I'm being announced on the first tee. Like I won't believe it until I'm on the first tee. So hopefully it's by the end of July. But I mean, I don't think that's definite either.
Are you guys itching to get back out there, or how's it been? You know, in the I guess I don't know how Florida is right now with the quarantine, but you know,
pretty lax, I think.
Not being able to play competitive golf.
Oh yeah, I think my last tournament that I played probably was February.
Yeah.
Because I decided to turn pro when I was in college, so I had to do all of that, and I never got to, like, I haven't played a professional tournament yet as a pro. So I'm like, I'm excited to get back and play my first professional tournament. So yeah.
What an interesting time for that. You know,
I know, actually.
Wait, time out.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask the hard hitting question here. So the match that we just had was all men. There was a little bit of reaction on Twitter from some LPGA players, some advocates for women's golf. Obviously, much like the WNBA, the LPGA doesn't quite garner like the viewership, the money quite yet. But I thought a big thing for the NBA was Kobe Bryant. He was like a big advocate for women's basketball. I'd always take his daughters to the game, always tweet about it. Like I thought that was really good. For a lot of like average males to be like, oh, this is really cool. I'll start watching WNBA, kind of like a leader in that regard. What do you guys think could be like things that the LPGA does, or maybe PGA guys to help? I know a lot of guys do right now to help continue to kind of bring up the LPGA and get you guys a little bit more viewership, money, and all that kind of stuff.
It's a hard question. I mean, I think it's a very controversial one.
For sure,
because, I mean, we're all gonna have different opinions. Maybe I have a different opinion than Maria does. But I mean, I can understand in a way why, of course, like just maybe professional like golf for girls, it's not I don't know, as attractive than maybe other female sports out there.
It's harder probably than most.
And like I said before, like it's harder for us to get the money, it's harder for us to get the exposure, it's harder for us to get so many other things. But at the same time, like this is gonna sound bad, and like I don't want this to be like taken out of context, but I wouldn't sit like on a Sunday to watch like a golf tournament, like a women's golf tournament. Like I don't think we are that much entertaining. Like I don't think I don't know, like that's just me, like like I would sit and watch like
Tiger,
like the guys play, or even some other like I would watch the WNBA before I watch the LPGA. Like that sounds, I'm saying, like it sounds very bad, but I don't know, I think we need to step it up a little bit more as well. Like I think we don't get as much exposure, we don't get as much revenue, but also I don't think we I don't know, do as much maybe as some of the guys do, or some of the other women's sports that are out there that I think are more entertaining. But again, like that's a very personal opinion. I think it's
so honest. I mean, I was gonna say I'm a big golf fan, these guys are too. I found myself watching the LPGA a lot. The biggest difference to me, I think, is just like some tournaments you don't get as many fans, and that's when you get like the reactions from golf, because you get the fans going crazy for the big shots. Like on the men's tour, I think that could be a big thing for women's tour. You increase the fans, you increase the drama and all that. But I thought it was a great answer, very honest of you, and appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like I'll go back to Augusta, for example, like that round that we played in front of 35,000 people. Like there's no chance you don't get excited. Like you're gonna get hyped up. You're gonna get like, you're gonna show more emotion. You're gonna fist bump a little bit harder, like because the people make you do that. Like even if you're like super quiet and shy and an introvert, like you cannot not react to 35,000 people clapping or calling your name or like, I don't know, just cheering you on like that. We're humans. So like, I can see what you're saying about like just the people, like having more people to play in front of. Like, of course, we're going to show more emotion. And I think that's going to make it more fun for us and also for the people at home.
Well, definitely. Yeah, and I agree. But one thing I do got to say is, you know, you talked about ways to kind of promote the game, make it a little bit more exciting. And, you know, I think once you two get out there, get a little bit more established, I feel like you guys could add a little bit of that creative flair. So let's get you two going, get you guys more established out there. And I think that'll be a good way to grow the game a little bit.
I like the way that sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested. What would you guys take from each other's games? If you had to take one thing from one another's games, what would you take?
Good question.
That's a good question.
So easy for me, for length.
Yeah. I was going to say Maria's got the top spot for driving distance right now.
Yeah.
No, I think I always tell her, I think she's one of the most talented players I've ever met. Like her hands, she can just sit on the couch for 3 years and then come back out and kick everybody's butt. Like she is very talented. So just like being able to, like she just thinks of the shots and she makes them. Like
I cannot explain.
Yeah, if you ask her like, hey, like how did you do that? She's like, I don't know, I just thought about it.
So you're very much a field player.
Yeah. So if I could have half of her feel, I think that would be something I would be taking for sure.
So here's a question. You got a 9-foot downhill slider to win the we'll say the women's US Open. Who's going to be more confident standing over that ball to make that putt?
I don't know.
I think we're both really confident. Yeah, like we have the same personality like on the golf course. We fire up and we're like, when it's time to roll, we get in our zone and do it.
Yeah.
So I think any of us will be really confident just being in there.
Yeah, from what I remember, like we haven't played like competitively in a minute, but like from junior golf, like every time she was like 1 shot behind or 2 shots behind, it was like I was scared. I was like, oh no, she's coming. Like this is bad. Like she's fierce. Like she'll come get you.
When you guys play,
I think we both kind of just give it all every single time we play. So I think. I would trust for any of us to go make that putt and win a U.S. Open.
Definitely.
You know how there's like an American President's Cup? I know that there's a Solheim Cup for the LPGA. Is there something on the odd years, or is it possible for you two to be partnered up together?
That would be awesome.
We don't have like a President's Cup, but we have something that's called the International Crown.
Okay.
And it's 8 countries, and I think it's 3 players from each country go play, and like we would play as a team, of course, both playing for Mexico, and you just play against like the other 7 countries, and I guess that's kind of like our President's Cup, but it's not really that. Yeah.
That's cool.
So when you guys play right now, what do you do to keep it competitive? Do you wager any money, or is it more like who's making dinner tonight, or
who's making the transfusion?
Yeah, we keep it fun. I think it just depends the day and what we want to do. It's either like, oh, we pick the place we want to go eat, or the food we want to eat. Or
you got to keep the juice flowing a little bit.
Yeah. So let's get into, we got a couple segments for you guys, being now roommates. Kevin came up with one. We'll let him run this one. Kevin, you got this thing ready to go.
So I'm sure you're familiar with like the Instagram filter where people do like the close their eyes or whatever and point their head.
God, no.
But We'll do a little bit different segment. So we're going to have you guys close your eyes. I'm going to ask the question, then you point at each other or at yourself for the answer.
I'm
And
scared.
we
Let's go.
won't, no, the questions are reasonable, but we won't do, we'll have you guys watch it back to see what you said.
Okay.
So here we go. We're going to call it Who's More Likely To. All right, ready? All right. Binge a Netflix series in one day.
Okay.
Go to a Justin Bieber concert. All right, go skydiving. Be a stand-up comedian.
I don't know.
All right, cry during a romantic movie.
That one was unanimous.
Win the lottery.
Hopefully me. Yeah.
Go on a reality TV show. Who's more likely to spend their money on something stupid? Who's more likely to get arrested?
Oh.
All right, in the heat of the moment, who's more likely to yell at their caddy?
No.
One Maria's made up her mind. The other is still waiting.
No,
All right.
me.
Last one. Who's more likely to get a lucky hole in one? Like you skull it, you get a lucky bounce, etc. There we go. All right.
All right. Well, yeah.
Me, I did it all in one. I haven't made one in a long time.
Who has the most?
I
Which
liked
one of
it.
you guys has more hole in ones?
I've had one and like a fake one. I think I did the ace camp with Eric Anders Lang, and he just hit like a bunch of
Okay.
holes in the par 3, and I ended up making it, but I think it was like, I don't think that's a hole in
So it's
one.
half. Yeah.
Yeah, I've just had one, maybe
I have-
1.5.
I have done 3.
So
Wow.
yeah.
We'll
So-
have our
0.
we'll have our producer, the Bear, kind of cut those videos, and we'll send it out to you guys after this. So that was some good stuff. But then one other segment we do, it's called the 60-second scramble. This is more kind of rapid fire questions. We'll just go back and forth between both. But
Okay. You start.
so we'll answer.
I don't know. You start.
We're starting with Balcazar. We're starting with Balcazar. You're on the.
There we go.
She always throws me to see what is happening, and then she comes in.
Yeah,
There's
like,
always
come on,
one friend that pushes
got
you in the spotlight.
Hey, well, you owe her for all those college tips she gave you when she was in Fayetteville first.
Now we're talking.
There you go. The
All
bills
right.
are up.
Who plays Maria Balcazar in the movie?
Ooh, I don't know. What a good question.
I don't know, like Sharpay Evans or something.
Probably.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a High School Musical reference?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's her Ashley Tisdale? Ashley Tisdale. Just highlight the hair.
Yeah.
What would your dream foursome be? Who would all be in it?
Think twice.
Yeah. If I don't say these names, I'm gonna get kicked out of the house. So I better just say it. So it'll be her, Maria, Olivia,
Okay.
and Justin Thomas.
Oh wow.
Wow, JT.
He's gonna love to hear that.
JT, if you're out there listening, you better get around it with Maria.
Please.
We'll be waiting for him.
All right, next question. If you had one meal left on Earth, what are you having to eat?
Easy sushi.
Okay, I like that. If you could only win one of the majors on the LPGA Tour, which one would you want to win the most?
Probably the Anna.
That's a good one.
All right, and then last question, then we'll switch over to Fassi. Favorite non-golf related activity, something you like to do in the free time, get off the course.
What do I like to do? Just watch Netflix, probably.
Let's say it's hard right now in the quarantine. You can't.
Yeah.
It's hard not to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, good responses. Now we're over to the other Maria.
Okay.
You mentioned you love Augusta. You've watched the Masters. If it happens this year, who's your pick to win the Masters in November?
I don't know. I think I would love to see Rory win.
Okay.
I think
He's been a popular selection.
He's definitely the that storyline out there of him getting the Grand Slam. So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
I think that would be pretty special for him. And I like him a lot. I think he's a great guy. So I would love for him to win. Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite club in your golf bag?
My driver.
I should
one.
So easy.
Great question, Mike.
What's one thing the public would be surprised to learn about you?
Yeah, that I'm a good chef. I enjoy cooking a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's pretty good, isn't it?
Who was your hero growing up?
And my dad.
Got it. All right, and then last one for me, and then I think Jack sometimes has a couple, but I'm not sure if he has any today. So
Throw him under the bus.
If you were, on Sunday in we'll say the Women's U.S. Open, you're on Sunday, you're stalking down
9-foot slider.
You're stalking down your first major. Who would you want to be competing with, battling it out with the most to try and get that first major?
Well, if we're talking about it, I think I would love for her to be there. That
Okay.
would be a dream. I mean, it would suck to be against her, but I think it would be a pretty special moment to share
Yeah.
a major win with my best friend. Yeah.
Can't argue with that, folks. You heard it here first.
You feel the emotions all the way
Duo,
through.
to say the least. I'm looking forward to seeing them on the tour.
We'll be there. Don't worry.
Yeah. Mike likes me to ask this one now. I used to ask it before when Spieth was on. But who do you think will have more majors when it's all said and done, Spieth or Justin Thomas?
Justin Thomas.
I am team AT&T, so I have to go with Spieth. So now we have a little
All
challenge.
right. Well, there is a
That's
difference.
great. I'll cheer for Jordan. She'll cheer for Justin. So we'll see how that goes.
Obviously, I was gonna say JT is clearly her favorite. So Maria, who's your favorite PGA player?
I think Rory.
Okay.
Well, I don't think I know. Rory, yeah. Rory, definitely Rory.
Who are you guys rooting for in the match with Phil, Tiger, and Brady and Peyton?
I think Tiger. Yeah. I think that would be.
I'd be interested to get a scramble, 2-man scramble, and we can put I don't know what Olivia's handicap is. If we get us all, we can get 3v3 and see who wins out of us 3.
I'd love that.
She's a good
We're gonna get
golfer. She
owned.
gets it almost as far as Maria.
Yeah, no, she's good.
Well,
Oh,
Kevin's
God,
the
we're
best
done.
out of us, so we'll pair her.
Yeah,
I'm not good enough.
I'd like to see who's longer off the tee between Kevin and Maria, because he's 6'4", he hits it a long way, but obviously we all know how you hit it a long way too.
I think Maria's got me, buddy.
Maria.
But yeah, once you guys are all situated in the new house, we might have to come down and get a little 3-on-3 battle, because
there we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
we're not pros by any means, but we've been known to rise up in big moments.
This guy he's just talking a big game. When you get there, you'll be like, what the hell?
Well, that's part of it. So we gotta trash talk
Right.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So the Orlando area. What are some of the best? Like right now, you guys have the one course you go to a lot, but what are some of your favorite courses on the LPGA?
Let me cut Kevin off. I want to know what the best bar scene is in Orlando right now. It seems like you guys
We're not quite done.
The beersman's always worried about what he can be drinking.
See, no.
No, but she went to school here. She went that's why I said it,
right.
not because of anything else. Just
Yeah.
because you went to school here. So
I've been almost my whole life here in Orlando. So
yeah.
I know places. Let's say that.
So what are the best few? Because I went to school in St. Pete, so there's some good bars down there. But what are some of the best in Orlando?
I like to go to bars or nightclubs.
Either or.
Mike's
What are we talking about? Are we just talking
Mike's a huge nightclub
we're
guy.
going for a drink, or we're talking we're going for a night out?
We're talking you just want a major, you want to go celebrate. Where are you going?
Oh, my friend's house.
Yeah, I think if I win something, I'll be
I'm gonna be in a friend's house where
no public indecency.
Right,
Exactly.
that's a good point.
We don't want accidents happening or cameras around.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
but there's a couple of nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're both Mexican, of course, and there's nice Latino places that we like to go.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, all of our Latino friends go there, and it's a little bit different than usual. So that's fun. But I think like around downtown there's like a bunch
Yeah.
of like little pubs.
Like
and,
in downtown, you can be there and then just walk around the whole area and go
Yeah,
to whatever
there's-
you're feeling.
there's good options.
I could picture Mike going into downtown Disney with the Goofy hat on right now in Orlando.
I mean,
Definitely.
age is just a number. I'm a Disney guy. I'll embrace
I'm
it.
not Disney.
Okay.
It's fine.
So we're playing golf. We're going to Disney.
We can go
We
to
got 2 things.
Universal.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have the
I
transfusions
don't know
and
where
the
this sounds. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll have to have these two try the transfusions for the first time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll get those going.
Sounds like a
I'm
fun
going to
trip.
cook something for us.
I don't want Fast making my transfusion. I want Balcazar making it. I gotta.
Yeah,
make
no,
sure.
she's got you. She's got good hands.
I don't want Fassy's hands anywhere near my transfusion. It'll be
No. I'll cook for you guys, but I'll let her take care of the drinks.
Is that Olivia?
Is that Olivia?
Yeah,
There she is. Get a guest appearance.
What's going on, Olivia?
We're getting you on the golf course.
How do you think the interview's going so far, Olivia?
Those 3 against them.
Who's the best out of the 3?
Oh, Kevin, that's right.
The guy in the Puma hat. He thinks he's Ricky out there.
I'm sponsored. I have to wear it. It's an obligation.
Right.
Right.
No, but
But yeah, we'll get the 3-on-3 scramble next time we're out in the Florida area, and looking forward to it. Thanks for crashing, Olivia.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how many good shots I'll have, but I will definitely have a lot of beers drank by the end.
Yeah, that too.
all right, that's a guarantee. All right, well, unless you guys have any last second questions here, I think we should probably let them go back to
Yeah.
their daily lives.
They got to head to the range, but both Marias, we just want to say thank you once again for coming on. We really enjoyed it. You got 3 new fans in us, and we look forward to watching you guys get back on tour and make a big splash.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys, and I can't wait to see how this ends up. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a blast. Thanks for coming on. We'll for sure be
thank you
tuning
very
in.
much. Appreciate
when we
it. Best of
come
luck. Stay healthy.
All righty,
Thank
you
you,
guys
guys.
too.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the quarantine.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.